right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. We're broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley, and we hope that you are enjoying your morning so far. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. We are seeing a little bit of clouds in the distance, but they're nice little fluffy clouds there because we've got the blue skies and sunshine today. And it is also Tuesday. So happy Tuesday, everybody. We hope everyone is enjoying the show today. We'll be on here until 1 o'clock. We'll also go through a little bit later into the show some announcements here, so stay tuned for that. And again, you're listening to Out to Lunch with WRMN. Don't forget, we are also streaming now live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. If you want to hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. You can always keep up to date and in the loop with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and what's happening here also on WRMN. We also do have our website, WRMN1410.com. You can go to our website, check out our app that we have on the Google Play Store for Samsung users and also on the App Store too. You can also click to listen live directly through our website or also through the AM 1410 dial. Now, we do have a very special interview today. I'm very excited about this because this is an interview that is going to be talking a little bit about an event that's going to be at my, I guess you could say, alma mater, Elgin Community College. I graduated with an associate's in arts there. Absolutely fantastic college to go to. Just such a wonderful community college to go to that encompasses on, of course, growth. You get so much diversity. You get so much of learning experiences. And it's just a really great school to go to. So Elgin Community College at the University and Business Center, Building E, coming up Thursday, February 20th, is having an event called Live2Lead. And we have a very special guest today. He's a speaker and trainer. This is MJ Rodriguez is with us in studio today. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the invitation to be here, and I'm honored.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you interested in becoming a speaker? I know you also here are a trainer, coach in Proper Guidance, Foundation Entrepreneur as well, too.
So I have a business called Soar to New Heights, and I'm on the John Maxwell team. For those that don't know, John has a leadership training program, and we do training, speaking, and leadership around the world. We do international training, both abroad and here. And really, John's purpose is to love and serve all people. And obviously, the more we improve our leadership skills, the more we can lead others. And everybody deserves to be led well.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about this event, Live2Lead. I know that we're going to be having some good speakers here, some best-selling authors. Tell us a little bit about what this event is going to kind of contain, what it's going to be about.
Thank you. Well, this event is an absolutely interactive leadership training day. It's not a normal training day where you're going to be sitting down, and we're going to have some virtual speakers. We're going to have some live speakers. As you spoke about, we're going to show John is going to be referring to his new book, High Road Leadership, bringing people together in a world that divides. As you can imagine, we're having quite a few challenging times, and we need to bring people together and actually heal. So John's going to speak about high road leadership and how we can do that. We're going to have John Gordon as a speaker, and he's going to talk about team positivity. He's the positive guy. That's his key term. And Valerie Burton's going to speak about energy gap. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I find that day by day, no matter how much sleep we get, it's just exhausting just with the pressure that we have day to day, with differences in opinion, with all the things that we're going through. So everybody can use some energy gaps. We're going to have some interactive activities. You're going to be up around, you're going to be moving, you're going to have a hot lunch being fed. We also have a virtual option if you can't make it for those that are out of town. And we're really just looking to have an interactive leadership growth day and have everybody learn how to do better.
Absolutely. Now, were you a part of planning the Live2Lead, this event?
Absolutely. So John records live the content with the speakers. Every year we have different speakers. We've had Tyler Perry, we've had Jamie Kern-Lima. I don't know if you've heard of her, but
Okay.
Kendra Scott, Eric Thomas, and Patrick Lencioni. And so those are the main speakers. And then we create, depending on our community and our environment, how the leadership event is going to carry out.
Very cool. So Live2Lead, it does, of course, embark on the journey of being able to, would you say it's coaching and leadership? Is that correct?
It's personal growth.
Personal growth.
Right.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit on what kind of got you interested in being a part of this, you know?
I'm sorry, you did ask me that in the first.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
I am super, super passionate. I've been on my own since I was 15, and I'm 50 now, even though I don't look it.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I've had 3 and 4 jobs since I was 15. So I've led multiple groups of people. And like I said, we have a world today that's divides. And I was the first Hispanic leadership male PTA president in the country.
Oh, wow.
So the National PTA has blessed me with the ability to travel throughout the world and work with families and communities, and throughout my business ventures, as you can imagine, serial entrepreneur, because when you're 15, there's not a lot of resources for 15-year-olds out there. So I found that I just needed to learn how to do better, how to lead people, how to bring them together, because there is such a divide, even before the times that we currently have. Just people they believe that they were raised and that, you know, the things that they believe in. And I was like, man, how can we do better? And then the National PTA president said, hey, John Maxwell is a leadership coach. He's a trainer. He does international speaking and training, which you already do with the PTA. So why don't you start learning your principles? So when I found out about John Maxwell, man, he's got 91 books on leadership.
Oh, wow.
He is the leadership expert. And February 20th is his birthday, which they declared a National Leadership Day, which is why we're having the event at, of course, Elgin Community College. There's nowhere better to be hosted than there. It's a great facility.
Absolutely.
So National Leadership Day, that's it. It's John Maxwell's day.
Very cool. I think what's also great too is you speak about having so much experience with speaking with people and bringing people together, and I think that that's really great too, because you get to learn from different perspectives. You get to talk with people of different backgrounds, and I think that when it comes to leadership, I think it's good that we have that as a leader to talk to everyone, rather than just being on one side or the other. I think that that's really great that you're able to, you've been through that experience, and I think that that's something to be very, very passionate and proud about too. So
thank you. There's key strategies that the leaders are going to walk away, whether you're a CEO, whether you're a community leader, because I have some nonprofits coming as well, whether you're just an employee, to strategies to learn how to have that personal growth change you before you can have an effect on others, because that's where it starts, right? It starts with us.
Absolutely. Have you ever had any pushback, like, you know, or maybe even people saying, well, how do I know that this is the right way to go? And how do you kind of approach that as well, too? Because I know that that's kind of a loaded question, but.
Yeah, so there's not, John is famous for saying that there's no one way to grow. There's no one way to lead. There's no one way to do the right things for our communities. But there's a way, right? Whether you need to change it and have a different variation, the basic principle is always going to be the basic principle. And then from there, we need to customize it and just adjust it to how our viewers, our people, our community is going to need it.
What would you say is the biggest demographic in terms of, you know, would you say it's a lot of people who are starting a new business, or maybe who are working in a new field? What tends to, or do you just kind of have a mixture of everyone?
I do have a mixture of everyone. Really, my specialty is building effective teams. So if you're any type of business, which is small and large, because I worked for a very long time, 32 years in aviation maintenance for a very large airline, and I was the director of maintenance. Like I said, 32 years I've been in aircraft maintenance. And so it's funny that whether you're small or you're large, you have chaos in teams. When you bring any two people together, there's potential for chaos. and disagreement. And so how do we bridge those gaps? How do we find some common ground is really what it's all about.
Exactly. Would you say that there's kind of, would you say that there is like a foundation that you always follow by, and then of course you expand from the foundation and, kind of go into different contexts based off of what people are kind of, whatever their situation might be, would you say?
Yes.
That makes sense?
So absolutely. So the foundation is that everybody deserves to be led well, and that we have to have an open mind, open heart, and listen before we make judgments, before we make decisions, before we, move forward with something that could be potentially catastrophic to our businesses, right? And so if we don't listen with the intention of understanding, and we're listening with the intention of answering, that would be my absolute biggest mistake that I would venture all people.
Yeah, exactly.
Would be the first step to.
Yeah, it's important for people to listen to each other and let people speak their voice too, because sometimes you just hear too much of one thing and not the other, or and there's just so much divisiveness that we're seeing. So I think it's good that we even if it's just affecting a smaller community, still makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that is really great too, because what you can do is you can, start focusing on smaller communities and then expand from that. And would you say that that's a good way of doing that?
Absolutely. You can start right in your house, right? And that's why it has to start with you first, right? You can't say, there's a lot of people that say, that person has to change their way of being. That person has to change their school of thought. That person has to change the way they are. But wait a minute. Like, you have to start with you. How are you taking that in? How are you making the change? How are you being positive? How are you influencing the community and your household? Like I said, if you start at home, hey, listen, I've got a 30-year-old and a 15-year-old. I can tell you, influencing them, John says, right, influence is everything. If you can influence your children and explain to them why you have the reasons that you do the things you do, or explain to them that you went through experiences that they may not have gone through, and ask them what their experience is and why they believe what they're doing. It doesn't, the youth today, some parents would think that they're crazy, but there's just different times than what we had, right? When what we grew up. But we have to accept that their experiences are just as valid as our experiences. And we need to learn just as much as they do and collaborate together on common ground.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. So how can you, what do you hope people, when this event, so this event will be coming up, it's February 20th, and it's from 9 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. How do you, what do you hope people can get out of this experience, at least at the bare minimum?
So I want them to, number one, understand that there's no one way to have good leadership. Two, I really want them to understand, as soon as John goes through the steps of being a high road leader means, they're going to get some insight of like, hey, maybe I haven't thought of that before. Hey, maybe I've been too hard on my spouse, on my crew, on my community, on my business, on my my team members, and they're going to get tangible strategies that very day that they can implement and put into play in order to have a more successful, more positive environment. That's really what I want them to do. And I want them to have the ability to know that there's activities that you can do. You don't have to do the same things that we always do. Training is, I want them to have an insight on like, hey, there's a new way to do training. There's other ways to do training instead of just sitting in a boardroom or in a training room doing the online training. So on. So I mean, you want to make it interactive and fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Getting out there in the world and speaking with people, in an atmosphere, a space like Elgin Community College is so much fun. I think it's a great experience, and I'm so glad that that this is something that is offered here. So folks, if you want to check out more information, you can go to, what would the website be? Because I know it's sorry, go ahead.
There's a few ways to get to it. You can do Live2Lead, all one word, at Elgin Community College. Also, offer.soar2newheights.com will also take you to the offer page.
All right, there we go. Yes, so it's offer.soar 2, the number 2, newheights.com. That's where you can find this information. You can also get tickets there too. Again, a full day event at Elgin Community College tailored to the needs of professionals in leadership roles, offering actionable insights and invaluable connections to elevate your career. This is an awesome event, and I'm so glad that you're a part of it. And I'm so glad that we have the opportunity here on WRMN to have you on the air to talk with us about it too. So folks, if you are interested, check it out. You can attend also via Zoom as well. And there's also the networking lunch included in there too. So very, very cool. MJ, I want to thank you so much for joining us live on the air today. I really appreciate that you took the time and energy to come out here too.
I appreciate you, Matt. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much. Folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410 here in just a bit. So, of course, stay tuned.